Good afternoon, everyone. I'm letting you know that the reason I'm not sitting in my car giving you a normal Saturday afternoon jibber jabber chit chat market wrap of my activities and what else is on my mind about real estate is that I'm actually in Bali, Indonesia, and I'm here for a conference. I've been on the road for about a week across Australia or parts of Australia and finished off yesterday in Perth to do a leadership conference for principals called Chief Energy Officer, and then I've come to Indonesia because in the next couple of days I'll be presenting at Nusa Dua at the Sofitel Hotel. So 0 auctions today, 0 from 0. It's a great Saturday actually, and I'm just going to talk to you about what I think the number one reason why, even though we have 13 rate rises, even though we have stupid prices still being paid, even though there is grave uncertainty in the economy with reports this week that Australia could be slipping into recession. Even though all of those factors, even though a rational mind would say, why would you be lining up and paying millions of dollars for an average house in Australia today? That the list is very deep with buyers. And there's a wonderful article that's written today by Neela Sweeney in the AFR where she talks about the single factor that is driving all these people to line up, even though rationally they're thinking to themselves, what am I doing? Why am I borrowing so much money? What will happen if property prices drop? Even though all of that, there's one big driver, and it's FOMO, fear of missing out. And the reason why is we have, as you've been hearing me saying it for some time, a major supply issue in this country. A supply issue that has happened at the worst time it could happen. The worst time in history that we could actually have stopped building properties. Obviously because of building materials, cost of actually buying it, developers aren't being enticed to come in. At the same time as that, we've had record migration. So the average Aussie is sitting there saying to themselves, no matter what happens, I've got FOMO. There's only X amount of pieces of real estate out there, but there is X amount of buyers times 10 coming into the country. And that's why people are making irrational decisions. And by the way, I don't think it's a stupid decision, because I can't see, even if you got rid of 75% of the buyers at the moment, you've still got enough buyers to transact. You only need one buyer to sell a property. And this is a very sad thing, because who would have thought in this country that we'd get to the stage that the real heroes that get rewarded pretty averagely in terms of income, nurses, school teachers, ambulance drivers, firemen, they would have a problem with housing in Australia because of decisions that have or have not been made by the Australian government. And I'm not blaming Labor, in case you jump on and call me a die-hard righty. I've told you before, I come from a very poor background. We were brought up Whitlam was our person that my parents said, he's going to save us. Golf Whitlam, a Labor man. So I'm pretty impartial. To be quite frank, I don't rely on the Australian government to move my life forward. I don't rely on the Australian government to make me happy. I rely on myself to do that. It is a lucky country, but it is a lucky country because it could be a hell of a lot worse. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's the situation. I'll be back in action next week, auctioning real estate. Follow the press tomorrow and you can see what the results are. By the way, if you want to get auction results, go to realestate.com on a Saturday evening and or go into Google, put down realestate.com auction results, put down the city you care about and they'll come up. Yes, Constantine, lucky country for migrants. Mate, I'm a migrant. My parents are migrants. Migration is very, very important. Populate or perish. We know that, particularly in Australia. We need a population. It's good for security. It's good for progress. But what you do need to do is remember, if you've only got 1,000 rooms at a hotel, you don't accept 1,500 people on the property. Because where are you going to put them? In the laundry?